The question is, Mr. Abid Rasool, we are lucky that the Congress party didn't teach us English. You see, English is not a Congress party language that you are constantly questioning the language we are using. As far as I am aware, we are all speaking in English. There is a Queen's English,
yes, but you cannot.
But I didn't know there is a Congress English.
You cannot use the word ashamed. You cannot use this word. These are not right. Let us have a healthy debate. I am ready for it.
What is not right?
No,
what is not right, Mr. Raghunandan? What is Ritabrata? What is not right? What is not right? The question is no, Mr. Rasool, isn't it indisputable? Isn't it indisputable that the Prime Minister of India did not intervene in the various camps despite being warned? Was he not warned? Isn't there merit in the BJP's charge of non-intervention given the fact that I can challenge you today? I can tell you today that given the fact that the coal scam, the 2G scam, the CWG scam repeatedly brought to the Prime Minister's notice. We know what happened in the Parakh report. We know that Sunil Dutt wrote a letter to the Prime Minister telling him the 2G scam, CWG scam is going to happen. We know that Rajiv Chandrasekhar wrote a letter in 2007 along with Sitaram Yechuri warning about the 2G scam. All of this we are not supposed to talk about. So the first charge sheet, Mr. Raghunandan, is the most important, that the Congress party has compromised the dignity and integrity of the office of the Prime Minister. I want your views on that. Then I have a few questions to ask Mr. Rasool. Yes, Mr. Raghunandan, you agree with the BJP or you want to pick up any other point?
Well, no, the point here is that, if you just stand back and look at this entire debate, the debate that was previous to this one and the current one, exactly as you said, you see, people are shy of speaking of things that put them in a tight spot. So there are accusations and counter accusations coming from all sides, and there is more than a grain of truth in these accusations. I mean, everybody is right to some extent when they point a finger at somebody else. But from the perspective of a voter, what I really would like to see is what is the positive intent of a party. I mean, even in this debate, we've had three parties criticizing and counter-criticizing each other. But what is their agenda for the future? As a voter, I would like to know that. And I think that the BJP's one point in which they have considerably weakened their position is by delaying their manifesto. Because one would look for, certainly, if there is a truth, there is truth in what they are saying. That's one point. But what are we going to expect from a party that aims to rule for in the future is something that I would like to know. And if they're going to release their manifesto on the day that polling starts, I think that is that's really regrettable. That's regrettable.
I think we all agree with you on that. Even Subramanian Swamy does.
What is there to agree?
Even you do.
You have Narendra Modi's speech to the National Council. That is clear enough. It's as good as the manifesto. You want an elaboration?
No, it is not. It's not. It's an internal party discussion. Yes, certainly, sir.
1 week more.
Certainly.
Yeah,
but that 1 week is the time when I take a decision for whom to vote.
It's as clear as daylight.
No, sir, but that is an internal speech of your parties. It is an internal speech of one leader of your party. It does not constitute a manifesto. It does not constitute a manifesto.
Why didn't Ritabrata?
A single individual's opinion.
No, 1 second. A counter question, Subramanian Swamy. I find that Ritabrata wants to counter question you. In that case, I just want to add one thing before Ritabrata comes in. Then Narendra Modi should have said, today I am not making a speech. Today I am reading the BJP manifesto, and Subramanian Swamy and Murli Manohar Joshi need not work so hard.
Exactly.
Ritabrata has a counter question to you. Ritabrata to Subramanian Swamy. Ritabrata to Subramanian Swamy.
Use the word you tell him to use.
No. The question is Subramanian Swamy and Congress, or both the BJP and the Congress, has to remember that facts are stronger than boasts. The boasts are going on in different parts of the country, but in reality, both Subramanian Swamy and Mr. Rashidji, both we are telling that. First, I say one point that I missed earlier. He was telling about facts. The most interesting thing is that the question of priority for both the Congress and the BJP, the priority has been these neoliberal economic policies, the crony capitalism. During the BJP regime it had happened, and even in this Congress regime, same thing. 20,000 crore of subsidy taken away from food, petroleum and fertilizers, and in the same budget you give 88,000 crores of rupees as tax exemptions, and you tell these people, Congress people, earlier BJP people have also said, you must not look to this as tax exemptions, these are incentives and these are stimulus packages. There lies the problem. A manifesto will not, when the manifesto is coming or not, that is important. What will be there in the manifesto, that is important. In a whole elections, you don't have any discussion about the public distribution system. You don't have a discussion about these land reforms. All these things are missing out. The common agenda, the agenda of suffering India is missing out. The shining India agenda, because this is an agenda of the corporates. The corporates are pumping money because they want Modi to be the Prime Minister of the country. This is precisely happening. But the real agendas, the agendas of suffering India are till date missed out.
Well, the BJP also raises one of the points here is about weakening of state institutions by demoralizing their personnel and pitting one agency against the other. A case in point, Subramanian Swamy would be misusing the CBI to probe officers of the IB in alleged fake encounter cases. That is what the charge sheet says. I think you've read it. Now, you have raked up the Ishrat Jahan case to prove that the BJP... No, 1 minute, please let me complete. Hartosh, hasn't the BJP raised the Ishrat Jahan case to prove the CBI is on the witch hunt? Aren't they trying and muddying waters by making it one of national security because of the interrogation of an intelligence bureau official? If there is any evidence of any intelligence bureau official's involvement in an allegation as grave as a fake encounter, why should it not be investigated?
It is what the intelligence bureau director said. He said that you are undermining
Arnab,
the
if Mr. Swamy will let somebody else speak.
And you can't say that he's communal because he's Muslim.
Come and join the BJP on the day of the retirement.
So Dr. Swamy, Hartosh is coming in. I am simply making a point. It is easier to point fingers than answer questions. Yes, Hartosh.
Arnab, I think the charge sheet speaks in this strange language and is partly diluted simply because they are preparing the ground to make sure that the cases that are sitting with this government don't end up embarrassing them when they are in power. Because this whole investigation of the IB officers, we all know where it leads to. And the same issue, you have not seen the BJP yet give a commitment that the cases against corporates that have come up in the various scams, the coal scams, the 2G scams, etc., will be taken to their logical conclusion. Now that is what we would like to see in a manifesto, a clear commitment that the law will be allowed to take its due sort of logical course.
No, I'm picking up...
I'm not frightened, Mr. Swamy, I'm saying you are frightened. Mr. Swamy, you know what difficulty your own party, you and I would like action against corporates, but neither the Congress nor your own party is in any position to take that action. As you well know, Mr. Swamy.
Of course we have taken action. We have, Mr. Ambani has suffered more in my hands than anybody else. I made him repatriate $1.2 million.
Your hands I'm talking. Why your party's hands, Mr. Swamy?
Cashed away in foreign countries.
Sir,
Mr. Swamy, why is BJP...
Not your hands, your party's hands.
No, one second. Mr. Swamy, I think you are being cornered here. Mr. Swamy, I think you are being cornered here. Ritabrata also wants to ask you something. Yes, Ritabrata.
That is your
I have a simple question for Mr. Swamy. This KG
my question.
Why is BJP completely silent on this KG
take it to a logical extreme.
The question of corruption is the Ambanis are there, the Reliance is there. That is the sole reason why BJP is keeping its complete silence on the KG thing. The Congress is the main culprit, giving away all these resources of the country. The Reliance is benefiting. Congress's agenda has been, the priority has been the Reliance industry. But BJP, very interestingly, is completely silent on this KG Basin thing. How can you fight corruption when in such a corruption you are keeping completely
That is not correct. That is not correct. There's no need for us to be silent. In fact, in my case...
I know there is no need, but then why are you silent?
BJP is completely silent. BJP is completely silent on the KG Basin thing. Because you have these mining mafias coming against B.S. Yedurappa back in the stands. So it's difficult to speak against corruption. How will you speak against corruption? B.S. Yedurappa has been given a red carpet. A red carpet has been led for Yedurappa. He has been brought back.
Tonight on this debate, the BJP was putting out... 1 second. The BJP was the one...
We are not communists. We are not enemies of the corporate sector.
The BJP was the one... The BJP was the one which was pushing the, putting the charge sheet against the Congress party. But tonight I find Subramanian Swamy finds himself on the defensive. And perhaps the reason the moot point is Subramanian Swamy is because...
These are all your subjective definitions.
Fine.
I'm attacking and you don't even let me speak, and then you say I'm on the defensive.
You are on the defensive. Charge number 8. Charge number 8 of undermining institutions. Charge number 8 of undermining institutions. You make a charge. Don't you make a charge? Undermining institutions?
Undermining institutions.
Yes.
What is defensive about it?
Once I'll tell you, you are you will now be on the defensive.
I am making a charge that
after my
Sonia
question.
Gandhi is a very corrupt person. What is defensive about it?
1 second, I'll tell you why. You should both be on the defensive. BJP should be on the defensive and Congress should be on the defensive.
Just because you say defensive is defensive.
The Congress should be on the defensive.
What we have been doing.
The Congress.
We are the only ones who are going to court. We are not the shoot and scoop type.
Kargil having sold the coffins. And what are you talking about all this? Now you have your own IPS officers behind bars, the largest number in the country, and you are talking of institutions strengthening. You have your whole cases against rape being dismissed in the court because of the advocates not properly contesting the cases, and you have your own ministers being convicted for rapes and mass murders, and you talk of institutions, you talk of crime, you talk of respect of this thing, and you have
when Salman Khurshid
refugees within your own state.
When Salman Khurshid, listen to the question, so, Mr. Rasool, as recently as 13th of March this year, when Salman Khurshid, in one speech on a foreign land, criticized both the Supreme Court and the Election Commission, I ask you today, what was he? Strengthening these two very important institutions of democratic India? Was he strengthening the institutions?
He has not criticized them.
He has
discussed them.
Oh, please not. He has criticized them. Subramanian Swamy.
He has gone for a lecture and discussed them. It cannot be said.
Ritabrata.
When you discuss an institution,
you discuss its pro and cons, but that is not criticizing. Both the Congress and the BJP have been using these institutions at their own will, and they have been attacking institutions when they are on the defensive. That is precisely happening. I was earlier giving an example.
That cases have been transferred out of one state. That is where you are lowering the prestige of the courts. That is where you are not accepting the verdicts of the court. You have a minister who is convicted and he continues to be a minister, and that is where you are lowering the prestige of the courts. It is not while discussing the pros and cons.
Anyway, I have one last question. I am running short of time. Subramanian Swamy, when is the manifesto coming out? I am now told that you have decided to release it somewhere in the middle of the elections.
No, you see, the Election Commission didn't want us to release it tomorrow.
So when are you going? So there is no manifesto.
We have to take a 1 week adjournment.
1 week more?
No, for 1
Kamal
week.
Mitra Chenoy.
You want to know what's in the manifesto? You read Narendra Modi's speech. I don't know why you want everything
Sir, it's
in
not
the
for
form
me.
of a manifesto. Manifesto is a
Mr. Raghunandan.
verbose document. You read a concise, crisp.
Mr. Raghunandan, this is by the way, 1 second. This is breaking news. This is really breaking news. Subramanian Swamy has announced the BJP manifesto has been put off by 1 more week, which means somewhere around 12th, 13th, 14th, maybe. And maybe then they'll say 1 more week as well. So this is a world record. The BJP goes into the election without a manifesto. Mr. Raghunandan, that's your answer.
Why are you so?
Arnab, a manifesto is a very, very important document.
What is in the manifesto? It's in Narendra Modi's speech.
No, that's not enough. A manifesto is a very important document. When the NDA came to power, they came out. The manifesto becomes the action program of the government. It is discussed, it is deconstructed into actionable points, and ministries act upon it. The NDA government did it in the past. I have seen it. Similarly, when the UPA came up, they took their manifesto, they broke it up into ministry-wise component actionable items, and it became the common minimum program. So it's absolutely important that we must have a manifesto. I am very worried when a manifesto cannot be replaced by a speech of intent. A manifesto is very important. It is important because it is a basis, it's an official document on which a voter makes up his mind.
Sir, I say you are avoiding, you have not released a manifesto, it will be believed because you are fighting internally on FDI in retail, you are fighting on the Ram Temple issue,
that is your
and you are fighting over Article 377.
Your surmise always goes wrong.
And my surmise is not wrong. My surmise is not wrong. Day before yesterday. No, my surmise is right.
And every day, every poll, our number is going up. Manifesto or no manifesto?
No, that is
every opinion poll is saying that we are increasing our numbers, whether the manifesto comes or not.
And you talk of one face and you want to run this country. This great country will be run by one speech.
The people of the country on the voting day will decide that what will happen.
For the first time in any election. Now, these are interesting. The party that this is the first.
Till that time, you have to go by opinion.
The first party to announce the setting up of a manifesto committee. The first party to announce the name of the prime ministerial candidate.
Manifesto should be first in the charge sheet against the BJP.
The first party to do all that is also the last party to have a manifesto. Till yesterday, that was the situation, and today it is officially proven, ladies and gentlemen. The BJP goes into India 2014, the biggest election, without a manifesto. This is unbelievable, but Subramanian Swamy has confirmed it. Now you can, and Subramanian Swamy says to everyone, you don't need the manifesto, go see Modi's speech. Subramanian Swamy, you really work hard, but sometimes I don't know, why your work comes to naught. Thank you very much, all of you, for joining me on debate number 2 on the Newshour tonight. Thank you.